like a lemon with blackheads. You know, it's pretty awesome. This is me and my daughter, and we're a couple of carbon maggots, and I have a carbon maggot detector, and don't be alarmed, but there's many of them in the room in here. And as human creatures, we tend to suck carbon out of the soil in many different ways. In the United States, we suck fossilized carbon, and that's our gift to the future generation. You'll see an example of some of the, this was the airplane that I was late to get into my trip to Africa, and it consumed an enormous amount of carbon in that process. And gradually you can decline the ecology that way, but in Haiti they cook with charcoal and wood. And they've deforested the country. And it's a monsoonal ecology, so what happens without trees is, by growing grass and other crops, when the rains come, the entire topsoil sloughs off. And here between the mining for some stuff, you see the erosion. This is near Port-au-Prince. If you look at the satellite photos from before the earthquake, Port-au-Prince looks like a poison dart to the biosphere, and it's dead ground all the way out. One of the innovations you can do to prevent the use of charcoal is to use solar ovens. But as Germanic peoples, now I noticed the guy moved back, you know, but I appreciate it. But, our ancestors were used to cooking with slow heat over fire, so we adopt the solar oven quickly. But in Haiti, they're used to cooking over fires quickly, and so I introduced a rocket stove on my last trip in October of 2009, and this was right as it got exciting because the water was starting to boil, and he wanted to know where the smoke was. And this was my original rocket stove that Juliet is probably the only person that saw in real life. We could cook some zucchini and onions, but just made it out of coffee cans, and it works by taking as you light a campfire, you see that smoke that drifts up? That's unburned, it's inefficient burning. So by surrounding it with an insulated container and containing it, you get complete combustion. And if you'll see on the, there's below the pot, around the pot is a skirt, and you vent the hot gas and flames tightly around the pot. Now, in 2006, when I went to Haiti, this is where the cooks cooked for a school of 700. One of the cooks died the year before. That's a surprise. The ventilation was hideous. We punched through the cement with our screwdrivers, and that's when I decided to quit building in Haiti, because I thought if there was ever an earthquake, it would be devastating here, and I didn't want to kill people. But here you're looking into the actual chamber of the rocket stove, and you can see how you feed very small sticks, and you're able to cook just with the branches without even having to cut the trees. And here you're looking down into it, and it's a very clean burn, so it's a lot like cooking on a range. You still get some blackening on the pots, but not much. I'm going to be leaving for Haiti on Saturday, and I'll be gone there a month. The refugees came up with the idea of making them out of cans. Saves wood. The women would get raped out when they went to gather wood, so they started adopting solar ovens and rocket stoves to prevent the amount of time they had to spend out in the bush. So anyway, in Africa, this was an innovation. So you can use them in the United States. This was me at Brooklyn Lake a few days ago with my family at a picnic, and there we was in Haiti in October. I left 4 of the stoves there, and I'll be checking on those stoves and working on a water pump and some other things. You know, as you see in Haiti, the starvation, which is not that common, but the hunger is everywhere. So not everybody's starving, but everybody's been hungry that year. It's partly due to the ecological crisis, but it's distorted. Most of Haiti is play and laughter and fun, and we lose that in the news. And when a child dies in a Haitian village, the whole village comes out, and they go from horizon to horizon going to the grave. So they don't leave their bodies laying around like they do in the earthquake. That is just overwhelming. So anyway, as you think about your own carbon habits and you think about Haiti, remember that there's a cloud of witnesses, of children that surround us, that we touch in our lives in terms of, as far as Haiti, but also in the United States. With every choice we make about how we deal with our resources and what programs we become involved with in order to change the world. So anyway, I will truth plus compassion and action equals hope. So anyway, that's Andy's stuff.